Hello, welcome to Monkey Barrel Comedy Chat Show News, the only news podcast. Welcome to today's episode, everybody, with wonderful guests, the wonderful Amy Matthews.
Hello, George. How are you?
Oh my God, 25 episodes. No one's ever asked how I am.
Well, welcome to Manners.
Oh my God, if you did a podcast called Welcome to Manners, I would love that. Welcome to the show. So for yourself and people who are watching for the first time ever, the way to explain how this works is obviously Monkey Barrel Comedy has different guests coming in doing their tour shows, and we like to invite them in and get to know them a little bit better, usually by asking the most ridiculous questions a human being's ever been asked. So for people who might be seeing you for the first time at home, how would you what's your vibe? I don't ask people what's your comedy style? I go, what's your vibe?
Because we're notoriously bad comedians, aren't we, at knowing how we come across and knowing what 100%. Our stuff is. What's my vibe? I'm going to outsource the answer to how my director, Elf Lyons, described me the other day. Mm-hmm. She said I was like the love child of Miranda Priestley from Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada, yeah.
And Philip Larkin, the poet.
Okay.
So, there we go. I'm the love child of Miranda Priestley and Philip Larkin.
Okay.
So do with that what you will.
I forgot the name for Devil Wears Prada. I tried to remember it.
Me too.
I almost said Cthulhu Wears Gucci. That is incorrect.
Yes, that's my succinct little
vibe. That's a good.
Vibe.
Good, because we ask comedians a lot, like, how would you describe your style? And like you said, comedians usually struggle. Yeah. But your vibe, you kind of know what vibe you bring into a room.
Yeah, that's true. What vibe do I bring to a room?
I mean, the Devil Wears Prada one is pretty good.
It's quite damning.
It's quite damning, yeah. I'm very surprised you went there. I was like, wow, you're really telling on yourself.
Oh dear.
But no, that's a good vibe for sure. So for people who might not know, you were on the show Scott Squad. You've worked on all the BBC radio stations, all of them, even the news ones.
The news ones.
You famously broke news of the death of Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Very quirky way as well. You've written for Have I Got News For You. You've tour supported for a lot of big comedians. What's kind of been the biggest thing for you?
The biggest thing for me, is it like the biggest achievement? Or biggest
yeah.
sort of moment?
Or even just the moment that you were like, oh.
Do you know what? I've got a quite sweet answer for this, because I think it's difficult when you're trying to measure success in comedy, because metrics are constantly changing and goalposts are constantly changing, and it's easy to make you feel like every time you're like a rung up the ladder, you're just surrounded by people who are looking for the next thing, and so you constantly feel like you're slightly behind. Mm-hmm. So I think a nice kind of full circle moment for me was when I'd done like 4 gigs or something. I told my parents, I was like, I've just started sort of doing the odd gig or two. And at the time, my dad was he was doing like surveying outdoors for tree surgeons. So he would go to where trees are touching power lines to make sure they don't, like,
catch
the power
fire,
doesn't go out. Yeah.
Blow out the power, yeah.
And he ended up going through a power line that went through Ed Burns' garden, the comedian. And he was like, oh, you're that bloke from the telly. And bless him, it did the whole... oh, my daughter's a comedian. I think I've probably done, like 4 gigs or something. He's like, oh, my daughter's a comedian. And Ed very patiently was like, oh, really? What's her name? Well, I haven't heard of it. Maybe one day we'll cross paths, kind of thing. And I'm now on tour with Ed, which is lovely. And we've spoken about this before. And so there was one morning where we had to get a car. The driver was going from Ed's house, and my parents don't live too far from Ed's house, and so my dad dropped me at Ed's.
Wow.
And the day, because obviously he'd been there before, he knew where it was.
Knew exactly where it was.
The morning that I was getting that lift, I got a text from Ed, and he said, this is so bizarre, but our power's just gone out because the tree that your dad surveyed 5 years ago has just hit the power line. So I turned up at his house with my dad driving me there with his power out that morning, with the tree hitting the power line that my dad surveyed 5 years previous.
I think God exists.
If that's not a full circle
Wow.
moment, I don't know what is.
It's
quite extraordinary,
That's
isn't it?
extraordinary. That's
so there
incredible.
We go. It's not a sort of milestone per se, as in like, oh, I've gigged in front of this amount of people or this sort of thing. But I think it's a really lovely kind of, you know, you have those moments where you want to open up a little portal to your younger self and be like, oh look, this thing happens. That feels like a nice kind of
and it
neat.
almost feels like it's like a little poetry. It's repeating itself. It's reflecting itself.
It is. It's really.
That's
it was really
incredible.
It was mad. It was
you must
really
have been
mad.
like, actually, I quit right now. This is it. This is not going to get better
than
than
this.
this.
Sign. I don't know what the sign is, but yeah. So that was
It's a
very
sign for
cool.
Ed Byrne to move that tree. That's what it is. Ed, come on, move that tree.
Oh dear.
You had 5 years heads up, and you still were like, I bet I can get away with it. I bet I can get away with it 5 years in one day. Nope.
Bang on.
That's perfect. So for me recently, I have like an LG TV where it like picks random things from apps. So I have almost every day turn on my TV and there comes up you not drowning.
No, it's the artwork for my last show, I Feel Like I'm Made of Spiders, which basically I didn't know this was nobody told me or my agent this was going to be the case. But for ages I've been on and off the home screen for LG smart TVs.
Yeah.
So many times.
So many
you?
times. Yes, there we go.
That's so funny.
So often.
Basically, the company that filmed my special can then sell it on to, you know, other companies. And so, you know, I knew that it was being pitched to places, but they didn't tell us that the places that they'd sold it to. So I kept getting photos of people being like, oh my God, congratulations. It was just my massive face being the home screen of their television. And I was completely unaware of it.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened. They sold it to ITV as well. So it's available on ITVX. And I only found out because I got an email from Google being like, your name has, like an alert, being like, your name has been listed at ITV. And I was like, what?
Oh, God.
And then I just went to watch Plebs or something on ITVX. And I was like, that's me.
That's me.
But nobody told me this.
Yeah, you expect someone to tell you these things.
Absolutely you do. It's so strange.
I remember I did like some YouTube videos, like the Irish people try YouTube videos, and they all got bought up by Aer Lingus, and they added them to their in-flight entertainment. So everyone flying out of Ireland or flying into Ireland on an Aer Lingus flight, there was like 3 options of what to watch, and one of them was like 30 videos of me being a silly goose. So there was like a summer of just like every American was like, I watched you on the plane. I'm like, what is going on?
It's
and
so bizarre.
I didn't find out till the September. Oh, this has happened. This. Somebody sent me a picture on the plane being like, watching you right now. And I was like, no context.
It's completely surreal. It's very, very strange.
It's very weird because you would think these things would like go through you, but stuff can happen where you're just like, oh, it's my face on a billboard.
Absolutely.
Nobody messaged
Also, there's
me.
so much that you there's so many little mini milestones in this job where you're like, oh, if that happens, that'll be great. And you sort of build them up. The ones that seem to have the most impact completely come along without you either realising or like just sort of, you know, knock you sideways in some way or another. But yeah, that was one of them. So I'm sorry to both you and producer Ewan that my mush is on your television every morning.
I was sick a couple of weeks ago, very sick, and I fell asleep on the couch in my living room, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and what it does is when it starts to turn off, it starts showing previews of things you can watch. So I wake up and it's just the room's completely bluey green from the giant ocean picture, and it's just you floating on the TV.
For anyone watching on YouTube, it's that image behind us. Yeah.
So I was like, a banshee. I panicked, absolutely. So something we do here to kind of help our guests settle in is we have a little section of the show called the Internet Deep Dive. So we're going to go into one of your old social media posts, bring it up on screen.
Fun.
You're going to have to tell us about it. So for people listening at home, it's you and me.
It's us. Look at us. We're so cute.
This was during the pandemic when Monkey Barrel was having the Save Our Monkey Barrel fundraiser that we had to host. I remember being very last minute.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, we had such fun. The chaotic
really
energy
lovely.
we brought.
So it was how long was it? It was like a streamathon.
It was a streamathon, so I think it was maybe like, was it 4 hours? Or
it was something like
5
that.
hours?
It was like 3,
There
4,
was lots
5
of clips
hours.
of other people.
And people had sent stuff in. We had amazing, like I think like Russell Howard sent stuff in, and
Ed Byrne sent in a message asking, "Can somebody sort out my tree? My power's gone again."
Exactly. It was really nice. It was such a sort of. It was so pandemic, wasn't it?
It was the ultimate pandemic.
It also, I think, didn't help that it was quite literally in a basement.
Yeah.
It felt so kind of end of the world.
Claustrophobic and end of the world.
And we were presenting it,
Yeah.
and we had a lovely old time, didn't we?
Well, we had no idea what our vibe would be like together. And like at the start of this, we very much went into it like the news. We loved our clipboards. The second we got our clipboards, we're like, oh, I
felt really powerful. Also, do you remember I had like a Freudian slip, and instead of saying, please donate to the fundraiser, I was like, please vote. And I was like, thank you. And then I was like, thank you for voting.
That's also
and David was
important.
like, what do you mean thank you for voting? I was like, I think I'm presenting the X Factor.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that. But yeah, that was a very cool, mad time, because that was just when we were starting to be allowed out and about.
I think you're probably the first other person I'd seen in about 6 months. Yeah.
I think so.
And we went in there and we stayed away from everyone else, and we were at that little carpet space, and all the videos coming in, all the support, all the people messaging. It was such an odd thing, because in that room at that moment sitting next to you, I was like, I can't even imagine this room being full of people again. And we've both played that so many times to full room since then.
It was a really strange thing, wasn't it? It was really odd. And yeah, you can tell it was a pandemic, and I lost my mind because I've cut off all of my hair and it's brown. So nothing, because I'm going through something like a drastic haircut, does it?
Yeah, but you're good at rebranding, whereas with me, I'm like, oh, I got a red shirt. I figured it out, guys. Completely new for 2024.
But yeah, that was such a great time.
It was one of the things. It was one of the most like panic things of just like, all right, we have to figure this out. We don't know how it's going to work. Let's go. But everything really came together.
We vibed it.
Yeah,
it was great.
We absolutely
we
vibed
literally vibed it. Yeah.
And I'm sure it was people who were very polite and nice at home, giving us, considering it was during the pandemic and we're seeing people for the first time.
For sure.
But the manic energy of that delighted me.
Totally. But it's great looking us go.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
God, we had so much. And literally, you didn't know back then that you'd be on so many LG TVs across the nation.
I know. And I mean, obviously, it was the hashtag Save Monkey Barrel fundraiser. And we did save Monkey Barrel. Let's not let that slide.
Let's not forget that.
It's alive and well and thriving.
It's thriving. And it's because we decided to be its wonderful parents and protect it and bring it into this world.
Yeah, we did. We were mummy and daddy for the evening, weren't we?
Yeah, we really were. There's a few times we had to quiet some guests down. Yeah. All right, rein it in. Rein it in a little. Maybe don't say that joke on a stream. And also get out and vote, folks. Okay, so that's our Instagram deep dive. If you didn't see that, if you're listening on Spotify, jump onto YouTube and have a little look for a picture of me looking the exact same from 5 years ago. You consistently glowing up.
What? No, I look like I'm in disguise. I look like I'm on the run.
Okay, well, we've got something very fun.
Ooh.
It's cup flip time, a new part of the show that we brought in a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure you've seen this in an American film where you kind of flip this and it lands this way. And what we're going to do is we've got 30 seconds, and if you can get yours up, you don't have to answer the next question.
Right.
If you do, if I get mine up, you have to answer the next question. And if we both fail, we're both going to have to answer.
I see. I'm at a disadvantage here because this is I have to do this with my left hand the way I'm sitting. Dear. So, but I'm a good.
Oh dear! I wish I hadn't planned that.
I'm happy. Let's go.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh. So, for anyone listening and not watching, I'm going to leave. I sort of whacked mine across the room, and George, this is an industry term, nailed it.
I feel like you knocked mine back up, so thank you for that. That was perfect.
Welcome.
What a perfect shot.
That was incredible, George.
Incredible.
Well
the shortest one we've ever done yet. I'm very proud of that.
I'm actually quite pleased.
Yeah.
I didn't want that to last any longer than it did.
Okay. We have a question. Claire, is the question on here? Or do you want to say it? Hold on, I'll turn this towards you.
Thank you. What's your least favourite thing about Monkey Barrel comedy?
What's my least favourite thing about Monkey Barrel comedy?
I'm so glad I won. What's your least favourite thing about Monkey Barrel comedy?
Probably the fact that they only have 5 venues and there should be 6 or 7.
I just hate the fact that they close at night 24/7. 24/7.
I hate it. I hate that their lineups are so consistently amazing that it makes me question my comedy. And I hate how vibrant and happy the staff seem to be all the time, because it makes me think, oh my gosh, maybe I should work for them and just kicking comedy full time and just be behind the bar and just thrive. That's
That would
my
be
least
even
favourite.
weirder for Ed Byrne in the future. If he's like, is that my support act behind the bar serving me drinks? Am I being pranked long term?
Yeah, I think that's probably my least favourite thing about Monkey Barrel.
Your least favourite thing
Yeah.
about Monkey Barrel is just too cool. Stop it. Stop being so cool.
Intimidatingly cool.
All right. Well, I bet you
Final
didn't know that's how
answer.
that was going to go. Okay. All right. Wow. Well done. Well done. You turned an embarrassing question into a
Thank
CV
you.
there. I'm like, oh, just letting you know. Cool. We have a wonderful clip from last week's guest, which was it Sam Lake? Sam Lake sent us some questions. So let's check them out right now.
Hi Amy, big whore. We're friends, I can say that. I have 3 questions for you and please answer them honestly because I know what a big liar you are. First question, you're at a Sugababes concert and the Sugababes have dropped out, so you have to go on stage in their place. Which 2 people are you choosing to be the Sugababes with you? Second question, what animal could you convincingly hide under a trench coat and leave a zoo with? And finally, how much would you have to be paid to slap a butcher gently with a piece of gammon? You can't tell the butcher that you're about to do it, but you can choose the butcher that you do it to, and you can choose the gammon. Have a lovely day.
Lovely.
Can you hear, does his
Lovely.
husband sigh at the end?
Yeah.
You can just hear him go,
Watch it one more time.
yeah.
Let's try it again.
Hi Amy, big whore. Okay, we're friends, I can say that. I have 3
Okay, that's
questions for you, and
explained.
please answer them honestly because I know what a big liar you are. First question, you're at a Sugababes concert and the Sugababes have dropped out, so you have to go on stage in their place. Which 2 people are you choosing to be the Sugababes with you? Second question, what animal could you convincingly hide under a trench coat and leave a zoo with? And finally, how much would you have to be paid to slap a butcher gently with a piece of gammon? You can't tell the butcher that you're about to do it, but you can choose the butcher that you do it to, and you can choose the gammon. Have a lovely day.
Yeah, the highlight of that video for me is his husband just going, "Ugh," at the end.
Well, it feels like a, well, we're going to do another take.
Yeah.
That's obviously not the one. And Sam's like, I really like that. Thanks for...
That's extraordinary. Oh, Sam, I
Sam was
love
here
you.
last week and Gareth Waugh sent in a clip and Gareth Waugh was the first person to say hello to the guest and then, and also hello to you, George. And Sam's like, oh, that was very nice. And then Sam fucking forgets it this week. How dare you, Sam?
Unbelievable. That's
But-
dreadful. So what was my first question?
So you've 3 questions and let me just bring up our questions here. Question
The
number 1
Sugababes.
is the Sugababes one. So you're at a Sugababes concert and the Sugababes have dropped out.
Right.
So you have to go on stage in their place. What 2 people do you choose to be the Sugababes with you?
Oh my gosh.
What a difficult question.
It is, isn't it? That's really tough.
I'd have to say the owner of Monkey Barrel Comedy, who's my best friend.
Can I have Jedward?
You
I would love
absolutely
that.
can.
Yeah,
You-
I really would love that.
Oh my God.
Me and the boys. Just having the time of our lives.
So I know a few people who have worked with Jedward over the years,
That's
and
amazing.
they are a lot. Like, you think it's going to be fun. They would come in here and they would sit in the chair and they'd be like, let's sit in different chairs. And they just swap. Like, they're literally cartoon characters.
Incredible. They're so funny. Like,
They
they're
really are.
so funny.
Yeah.
And so they just seem to genuinely be like, that's who they are. Like, that is really who they are at their
Yeah,
core.
yeah, yeah.
And there's like a wonderful, I don't know, that's so freeing, isn't it? That's
It's so free
great.
that they've chosen to be like that, but also that the silliest characters. So in Ireland, they've kind of transformed from the silly characters they're known as in the UK to being like quite politically minded and like,
Yeah.
you know, things in society that are going wrong and supporting different causes. And
It's kind of incredible.
it's been wild. They've been taking on the Irish government and just calling them cowards all the time. They just keep calling people cowards, and it's great.
They did the same to Louis Walsh
Yeah.
when they were watching him in the Big Brother house. I just love them. They're our ethical kings.
Yeah.
So yeah, can
Our
I have
ethical twin
Yeah,
kings
twin
is
kings,
beautiful.
yeah.
The twin kings of Ireland.
twin kings of Ireland? Yes. So I'll take Jedward, please. to be
Jedward.
my-
Okay.
to be my
I'm going to
voice.
add a further question. What song would you sing?
Oh, it's got to be About You Now.
Yeah.
Because I would like to reenact the scene from Wild Child where they go to the thrift shop and
Yeah.
they try on like feather boas. That is the maybe campest millennial answer.
Oh. First things
Reenacting
first.
Wild Child with Jedward.
just want to say, Jedward are turning up. You're pulling them from the audience, and they already have feather bows. That's what's great.
Of course they do.
And then they get up and then they scream something, get woke, stay woke, and then they go on.
Incredible. That's what I would like.
That's a good answer.
Thank
That's a good
you.
answer. I think you're in safe hands there. They know how to be silly, but also to put on a show. But also,
Absolutely.
it's going to make you look so much better. Wait a minute. Do you always use chaotic Irish people co-hosting shows with you so you look more professional? Oh my God!
I'm currently on tour with Ed Byrne. For anyone who hasn't been yeah,
Oh my
it's my
God.
new brand.
Amazing. Okay, question number 2 is what animal could you convincingly hide under a trench coat and leave a zoo with?
Red panda, no further questions.
Yeah, I mean that seems like it's the easiest one.
I would love to take a little red panda. They're so cute.
They're so adorable.
They're so cute.
And I love when they're like, oh, they just sleep most of the day. And when they don't sleep, it's only till they can eat. And if they can't find something to eat, they just go back to sleep. And like, same.
It's so lovely. So probably a red panda. I think
feel
it would
like
have to be.
if you opened a pocket, a red panda would just climb in. I feel like it would. It looks like an animal that wants to be stolen.
So nice, wouldn't it?
There was an incident back in Dublin Zoo where a gentleman had gone in and just decided to pick up a penguin and put it in his jacket. And then on the bus, he looked under the wing and he couldn't find a joke. And he's like, this one's ruined. So he just left it on O'Connell Street, like the biggest, like basically Princess Street in Edinburgh. Just put the penguin down, and people just found it, and someone just came out and just put some of those like wet floor signs around it, so just to keep it in, and then they just came and picked it up.
I love it when an animal gets loose in an urban area. There was the horses through London a few weeks ago.
Oh God, yeah.
There was that walrus somewhere that just used to hang about and
scream at people. Yeah,
it was doing something antisocial.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
No, it was somewhere in the UK.
Yeah.
Was it in Scunthorpe? The Scunthorpe walrus.
Yeah, I think they called him the Scunthorpe Louis C.K.
Yeah. Oh, was that what he was doing?
No, was he not doing something weird? Was he being inappropriate?
It's either Paddy Young. I think Paddy Young talks like this in his show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and he's from Scunthorpe.
Is that why it's called?
great.
His tour show's called Hungry, Horny, Scared. He was the walrus. Hungry, Horny, and Scared.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
great. Oh, well, probably not going to be seen on the podcast, but I do believe Ewan's bringing up a picture of the horny walrus.
Yeah, he's called Thor.
Thor, the horny walrus.
Wow.
So what did you think? Do you think he was just screaming at people?
I knew he was doing something antisocial. To be fair, nailed it. Wow. Look.
Oh, wow. Thor's
Well
a
done,
good
Thor.
name for
Yeah.
a creepy...
Oh, he's sinister.
that's right. I've been working this circuit for 50 years, pal. I'm in charge.
Look. Well, thank you for that.
He does have very old comedian vibes.
He does actually.
Little top hat.
Yeah. He looks like he's...
I'd love to rewrite some of your jokes for you, love. No thanks. No thanks. I think that's A-okay, thanks.
Still waiting on money from jonglers.
So red panda is the one to steal.
Yeah, definitely.
The thing I was going to point out was one of my favorite things that recently got loose was, I don't know if you saw this in London, giant baubles got loose. So they had they put these giant
Baubles?
Christmas baubles outside of like a convention center, and they got loose, and there's literally footage of huge
Indiana Jones
baubles
style.
just rolling down the street because it was a windy day. And they're rolling down the street. Even if you can find footage of it, that'd be incredible.
Wow.
It's one of my favorite things. It's just the maddest thing. Also, sorry to go back to Ireland again, but in my hometown, a giant Minion inflatable got loose. So there's an advert there. Oh. Okay. I said one thing. I said, can we please be professional just for the episode that Amy's on? That's all I said. But this is the Christmas baubles that just got loose. Was it? Yeah, in London.
On Tottenham Court Road.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh my Lord.
So explosive. And then there's in Ireland they were advertising the movie Minions, and a giant inflatable minion just broke loose in the wind and just rolled into the street.
Incredible.
And so the Gardaí had to do a big announcement of going, "We've apprehended the minion now." and it's been deflated as we currently
I
speak.
love those little news stories like that just feels like cartoonishly silly.
Yeah, one where you feel like somebody's watching it going, oh, that's my fault. Like there's one person who's like,
but in
I
a really
definitely...
harmless way. It's very
Nobody's
sweet,
getting in
isn't it?
trouble for that.
Yeah.
They're going to go, oh, it was the wind. But there is one guy who's like, I definitely didn't tie that down.
Incredible.
Oh, God. Question number 3 then is, how much would you have to be paid to slap a butcher gently, with a piece of gammon? You can't tell the butcher that you're about to do it, but you can choose the butcher that you do it to, and you can choose the gammon.
Beautiful. So I already know the butcher. The butcher is my dad's best friend as a butcher.
Okay.
So it's going to be Jim. So I'm going to... Also, Jim wouldn't mind if I hit him in the face with a gammon. He'd be fine. So it would be Jim. Also, this is good, isn't it? His butcher's is called Jim's Joint.
Oh, I like that.
There's a nice little bit of wordplay. So
Bit of alliteration.
Lovely. So I think I would... the gammon I'd choose... Isn't gammon?
Gammon's gammon, yeah. But maybe you can choose the particular size of it or shape. Would you go for a small piece? Would you go for one that makes a good
No,
whack?
I'd want one that looks like a cartoon steak. You know, like the... what?
Red in the middle, white on the outside.
You know in Madagascar when the lion is looking at his mate and it turns into a steak. I want a bit of gammon that looks like that.
Okay.
And because I want it to make that really satisfying sort of noise,
Yeah, the proper...
you know. And how much would I... Tenner?
Wow, sounds like you really hate your dad's butcher friend.
No, lovely Jim. But Jim wouldn't mind.
That might not even pay for the gammon.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Jim's like, I can't sell this. I'm out 60 quid now.
Up my fee. Double it. 20.
Good. I like how normally we ask comedians these questions and they're like, oh my God. And every question you're like, well, I have the perfect answer for this. Wow. Well, we found out a lot about you tonight. We've found out our past hosting shows. We've talked about Ed Byrne's relationship with your father. It's nemesis space.
It's lovely.
Like, you put that tree there. Is there anything you would like to plug that you've got coming up in the future? Obviously, people check out the ITVX app and watch the show, and then it just keeps appearing or stops appearing. Who knows? I'm doing this podcast because I think it will get you to stop appearing on my TV for 5 minutes.
I'm so sorry. If you want to see the last show, it's on ITVX, or if you have an LG Smart TV, you can watch it on Next Up there. Or if you want to see me live, I'm doing a show at the Fringe with Monkey Barrel. It's called Commute with the Foxes. Mm-hmm.
I'm currently talking to my legal team about suing for this. This is, how dare you?
Yeah, it's about me going to work with your family.
Perfect.
And then it's going on tour in autumn, which is really fun. So I will be off on the road.
Yeah, and you'll be popping around. You'll also, if people are going to see Ed Byrne, you'll be doing tour support for that for a while as well. That's definitely a way to check that out.
Yeah.
And cool. What else should we plug? Is Monkey Barrel Com? Is there anything else you have coming up?
No, I don't think so. That's me.
I always want someone to break out some big news. I'm in the new Marvel movie, something like that. I'm like, oh my God, what a scandal. So for people who are watching, if you want to come see live comedy, there's comedy on every day at Monkey Barrel Comedy. I host the 5 p.m. show every Saturday. A lot of fun. It's a very silly show, and you'll be doing it today.
Yes.
We're going to have a fun time. And then if you want to see me more frequently, I'm on twitch.tv/Fox Comedy every Monday to Thursday doing silly stuff. I dressed up as Bob Ross the other day. I painted a picture. It was the worst picture in human history.
That's okay. There's no such thing as mistakes, only happy accidents.
I proved him wrong. He started doing the painting. He was like, what you're going to need for this is a paint knife. I have a knife. Is that enough? I don't have a paint
semantics
knife.
Of it.
I knew it was bad because everyone started saying, no, that's okay. Hundreds of people going, no, it's all right. That's how I knew.
It was lovely. What was it of?
It was an
Alaskan river.
It was an Alaskan river, exactly. I'm going to send you in a picture, and the piece of art that I painted on the stream is going up right now. I told you, it was terrible. Well, thank you for watching the show, everybody. We will catch you again. From myself, from Amy, from you and from Claire. Have a great week. Bye.
There's something hiding under the ice, imitation of a sound. There's something standing behind the door. Would you like